Welcome back to the Liquid Layer. I'm Aaron. In today's episode, it's going to be a little shorter. We're going to be talking about the Robinhood Lighter update that came yesterday and some other things related to Pump Fund and the broader crypto macro. So let's first go to the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is actually making a little bit of a move down. Once again, it's kind of still in this range it's been in all summer. I think it could definitely snap lower at some point in the next coming months for the rest of the year, but we'll see what happens. Solana sitting around $75 or so just chopping in this range. Hyperliquid coming down a bit from its little pump it had, sitting around $55, but it really does look very strong here and looks like it's in, good structure. Lighter dumped a bit off the sell the news of the Robinhood event. I guess the Robinhood news wasn't enough for bulls to keep on going, and bulls got dumped on yesterday. But it's okay if you're a long-term believer in the Lighter protocol. If we go to Pump Fund, Pump's, coming back a little bit. The whole crypto market in general is pulling back right now, as you can see right here. It really wasn't able to break out of this range, and now we're going to see if it's going to be able to hold. If we go to the stock market, stocks made a new all-time high yesterday, and now they're kind of pulling back a little bit today. So gold continuing to move up a little bit. Pretty interesting to see. Now let's go to our first story of the day. The Citibank calls for the U.S. Senate to pass the Crypto Clarity Act. Pretty much most people in the financial space want it to be passed because, they're operating in the industry and they just want to have clear rules on what to do. To our next story, the SEC canceled today's meeting to discuss crypto regulation. So the SEC was supposed to have a meeting today and they canceled it to discuss crypto regulation. So just more talking and not, action. Hopefully there's going to be some action made on the regulation side later this year, but we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, this is something that's kind of out of our hands. To our next story with Lighter. So the big announcement was the Robinhood Wallet times Lighter points are live. So what this pretty much is the season 2 airdrop for Lighter. And basically the whole point of this is to onboard more people to Robinhood Wallet and Lighter. And if you go on the Robinhood Wallet and you trade on Lighter, you're able to farm points, and then those points will lead to an airdrop. Now, there is some people who kind of push back on this, and they're saying, wow, this was kind of a not great, amazing news, because the Lighter protocol right now is not producing as much revenue as Hyperliquid. It's actually producing a lot less. And the reason I'm bullish is because I'm looking outwards. I'm looking at what could possibly come after the license, but currently at the stage, Lighter protocol is not, when the unlocks come in December, if things don't kind of pick up and they don't have the right partnerships, depending on the selling pressure, the buybacks may not be able to match the selling pressure. Now, I don't know the exact math on that, but pretty much Lighter needs to be able to get more revenue in the building. Now, I believe this is going to come through getting the license and getting on the Robinhood main app and then getting plugged into other places. That's why we're speculating on the price going up and stuff. So people are kind of like looking at this and saying, well, this could cause potentially more selling pressure, and it may not be the most effective campaign, but we'll see what happens out of it. At the end of the day, it's happening. But I kind of want to give both sides of the story. I don't want to always just be a bulltard and not tell the other side of the story, because there were some people who were kind of disappointed in this announcement. I think the Lighter team allocated $26 million worth of light to the points that will be given out on the Robinhood wallet. So we'll see what happens with that, if it's able to be an efficient campaign or not. But to our next story, take a look at this. Robinhood Crypto said 100 more Robinhood stocks tokens are now allowed on Robinhood chain. Now, this is good, but somebody on Twitter actually pointed out that some of the stock tokens do not have great liquidity. They don't have good liquidity, and it's kind of like, all right, why are you releasing some of these stock tokens if they have bad liquidity? Now, my thought process is the Robinhood team, they have a lot of money. Stocks are in a bull market. Crypto is not in a bull market, but these are stock tokens. You're just utilizing the blockchain to make it easier for people to trade stocks or whatever, stock tokens. Anyways, I'm kind of thinking that eventually the Robinhood team will add more liquidity. We'll see what happens. Maybe they don't, but yeah, that's that. So our next story, we're going to be talking about Pump Fund. Take a look at this. Ansem put this out on Twitter today. He said, he's talking about Pump Fund here. He said, fastest growing startup to 1 billion revenue in the past 10 years. Trades at a 3x rev multiple because everyone externally thinks crypto is a scam and doesn't understand how much the younger generation loves trading memes. The same way they scroll TikTok. And he shows this one screenshot from the Pump Fund page, which we'll go over to in a second, that has this and the daily buyback and burn. So yeah, and I agree. And if you take a look at this clip, it's basically Ansem talking about how Pump is a direct bet on the next wave of on-chain speculation. And I think that's the best part about Pump Fund and their token is you can get exposure to all the kids who are trading meme coins by just holding Pump token and just investing in the business that allows people to launch meme coins. You don't have to trade meme coins to get exposure to the meme coin space. You can just hold Pump. And I personally believe, I put out a tweet yesterday saying, I think most people who just hold spot Pump long term for the next couple of years will probably outperform the meme coin traders, most of them. And I'm not saying, I know there's some people in the meme coin trading space who are really good to make a lot of money, but I think people who just hold spot Pump will actually probably outperform the people who are trying to trade memes and all this other shit, which is very, very common. You see this in the day trading versus investing space. But when we take a look at the Pump Fund numbers here, really interesting stuff. You can see the buyback and burn. The amount of buybacks they're doing has reached, an all-time high, for the past couple of months. And the good part is when the price is pulling back, like the price is pulling back today, you can see Pump Fund's down 3%, and the protocol is still producing meaningful revenue, and the revenue is not coming down. It's just more Pump tokens taken off the market, which is really, really good if you're a long-term believer. Because the longer the market remains irrational and undervalues Pump, which I think the market is grossly undervaluing Pump, the more, and the revenue doesn't drop off, the more tokens are going to be pulled off the fucking market. So, yeah, that's good news. And take a look at the active wallets. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. You can see how many active wallets are on the Pump Fund. Pump Fund basically is the damn near the Solana blockchain. So it's really, really, I think, just grossly undervalued right now. But we don't really have much else. It's a Friday. I will see you guys again on Monday. But if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, join the Discord, and follow me on X. Link in the description to follow me on X. And yeah, I'll see you Monday.